Going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. Haven't shown my face in a minute since it's time to ramp up content with training camp opening in about 8 days from now. It's time to get back to it. As a world-class first ballot yapper myself, a rambler, you notice one when you see one. And Joe Theismann is a world-class blabbermouth. He says a lot of things. He says things he probably shouldn't say, especially with the amount of intel-ish and relations that he has with the team. He spoke on Jayden Daniels the other day. And while speaking on Jayden Daniels, I'll quote him directly so I don't butcher it. He said, Jayden isn't and shouldn't play in the preseason. So if he isn't going to play in a preseason, how are we going to be able to understand how good he is when he's got people around his feet and it's a different world? Why would you put your starting quarterback out there? They would tear Dan Quinn apart if Jayden got hurt in a preseason game. So I want to bring about the conversation. Should your rookie number 2 overall quarterback play in the preseason game? And I'll tell you what, I'm not even going to waste any time on it. I vehemently and wholeheartedly disagree with Joe Theismann's assertion that Jayden should not play in the preseason. My 23-year-old quarterback needs to get some goddamn reps. While I understand that the most important reps he probably takes all offseason will be in joint practices with the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, because that's going to be like the closest to live and game prep he's going to see in the preseason environment, because you don't prep for preseason games. But yes, he has to play in the preseason. Fam, I want my veteran quarterback to at least get his beak wet in a preseason game. Jayden Daniels has played this many NFL games. 0. Donut, goose egg. He has no idea what the speed of an NFL game is like. Even if it's a bunch of Jags and backups that he's lining up against in the preseason, he absolutely has to play in the preseason. So I'm going to disagree with Joe Theismann on this one. Joe Theismann's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a former MVP of this league. I understand those things, but Joe Theismann's best ability is his mouth. As someone whose mouth is also their gift in this world, it can also be your curse in this world. And Joe Theismann just be saying shit a lot of the time. And I don't think he's really thinking about this. So you're going to not play your rookie quarterback because he might get hurt? There's a lot of people on the team that could get hurt in a preseason football game. Does that mean everybody's going to sit? Everybody should sit because risk of injury. It's your quarterback. This is the most important player on your football team, and he is undoubtedly going to be your week 1 starter. I want my quarterback to have seen some live bullets in August before he steps out there on September ready to win a football game. Look at CJ Stroud and them last year. Like, they played in the preseason. I would set a couple benchmarks for what I expect from Jayden Daniels in the preseason. I want to see at least 20 attempted passes by Jayden Daniels in the preseason, and I want to see at least 2 full quarters of football. I don't care how that adds or stacks up. I don't care if it's a quarter here, a quarter there, or if it's 5 possessions here. I don't care how they stack it up amongst the preseason game. Nobody plays in the final preseason game. So within the first 2 preseason games, I need to see Jayden Daniels throw the ball 20 times. I don't need to see him take the field and hand the ball off on every snap. I need to see him come out, get in some goddamn rhythm, complete some passes, and work on some timing with the starting receivers he's going to play with on Sundays once the season starts in September. He has to play in the what are we talking about? What are we really talking about here? He's not going to play in the preseason. And I don't like that he says he isn't and shouldn't, because that isn't is him kind of acting like he knows something that we don't, and he knows Jayden's not going to play in the preseason. I hope that's not how we're moving in 2024. I don't think that's how we're moving because I know what Joe Theismann do. And Joe Theismann is a habitual line stepper and pot stirrer. So I already know how Joe Theismann do. And this is a fair take from him. It's fair to assert that a quarterback shouldn't play in the preseason, but not a rookie. Caleb needs to play in the preseason. Jayden needs to play. McCarthy, Nix, all of them need to play in the preseason. You need to understand or at least get a little taste that the speed of this game is different on this level than it was at the collegiate level. You need to get a little taste of it. You need to work on some timing, some rhythm. You need to work on an in-game situation, walking in the huddle, getting the play call from Cliff Kingsbury in the headset, relaying it to the offensive line, breaking the huddle in time. You need to work on like muscle memory of being an NFL quarterback. It would be blasphemous and distasteful as hell to me if Dan Quinn didn't play Jayden Daniels in the preseason. But I think based on their history, they're going to. Matt Ryan played a whole bunch in the preseason when Dan Quinn was the coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan was already established veteran in this league. Yes, that was years ago, but he was already an established veteran in this league. They still made sure he got his reps in the preseason. Cliff Kingsbury played Kyler Murray in the preseason when he was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. They know, like we know, that there's a sense of fine-tuning and just go get your feet wet. Go out there and throw the ball around. You throw an interception, so what? You fumble or something, so what? Yes, we got to protect him, but we got to protect him every time he touches the football field. We can't just, I'm not going to put him out there so he doesn't get hurt. He needs to get out there and get used to the linemen. He needs to get used to shifting the protection, audibling if he needs to. They've told us all offseason Jayden has a full understanding, a fluency of the system Cliff Kingsbury has installed here in Washington. Go show us a little bit. You can be Manila. You don't really have to open the playbook or anything, but I just don't understand the thinking that a rookie quarterback can just sit out the entire preseason. CJ Stroud threw 20 passes in the preseason last year. Who cares if fans overreact? We don't want fans to start making a quarterback controversy. Who cares? Stroud was throwing picks. Stroud was looking like a rookie in the preseason. You're supposed to. Nobody's asking him to go light it up in the preseason. God rest his soul. This is not a Dwayne Haskins situation where we know the rookie doesn't stand a chance. The job is the rookies. It's not even his job to lose. It's his job. We need to see some of him. We need to get a little glimpse of Jayden Daniels in a Washington Commanders uniform before the season starts. Point blank, period. And I don't even know how there's discussion to be had over it, bro. I want my veteran quarterbacks to go break a sweat and to go run a successful drive in the preseason. You're not looking for results. You're trying to get him out there, get him used to the pace of the game, break a sweat, get used to his brothers, get used to regurgitating the NFL language in the huddle, breaking the huddle, just muscle memory, getting used to routine. This is like the onboarding phase of getting a job. They put you through training. This is a part of training for an NFL quarterback. Go get the training wheels taken off in a preseason game. He gets it in practice and he gets it in preseason. We have joint practice with the Jets, with Aaron Rodgers. He gets to pick the brain and get the tutelage of one of the top 5 quarterbacks in NFL history. Another quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. We're doing joint practices with the Miami Dolphins as well. Those are going to be great for the growth and the development of one Jayden Daniels, but he definitely needs to go out and at least run a series or two in the first 2 preseason games. Let him run the first quarter, the first 2 preseason games, and pull the plug. I'm not saying play him a whole half or do the dress rehearsal thing and play him into the 3rd quarter, but I think in totality, you have to play Jayden Daniels at least 2 full quarters of football and a minimum of 5 possessions in the preseason. If not, I think it's malpractice, and I think you're sending him out there week 1 without even knowing what he's getting into. Let him get some live bullets. Oh, what if he gets hit in the preseason? We need to protect him, and he needs to learn to protect himself. Period. We're not babying our quarterback. We don't need to overexert him, but he definitely got to get his ass out there and play. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, because I could be very off base here, but I know me personally, I want to see my fucking quarterback play in the preseason. I want to see my rookie quarterback get in a rhythm, put something positive and something negative on tape. You want to know why putting negative things on tape is a good thing in the preseason? Because the games don't count, and because we need to learn if he's a guy who's not going to make the same mistakes again. If he's a guy who self and auto corrects and he sees a mistake, identifies the mistake, never makes it again. We need to see these things. We need to see the way the mind works on our quarterback. Period. Not that deep. Play Jayden Daniels in the goddamn preseason. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below if I'm off here. I want to see Jayden at least 2 quarters, and I want to see him attempt at least 20 passes, because one of my biggest pet peeves about the preseason is for quarterbacks who come into the season unprepared. Why guys put their quarterback out there in a preseason game and have them hand off every play they're out there. Why play him? Drop his ass back and let him throw the ball a couple times. You don't have to do no long developing deep balls or anything like that. Have him throw some really basic routes. Have him throw a couple slants, an in route, an out route. Just have him work through a couple routes to get him off the field. I want to see it. I want to see Jayden Daniels in the preseason, and I want to see a half of him. I want to see 20 passes thrown, and it would be beautiful if we got to see at least 1 scoring drive from the starting offense in the preseason. Will I die, or do I think it's a deal breaker if those things do not happen? I do not, but that's where I stand on it. Let me know where y'all stand. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going up. We're ramping up. Rookies report in a day or 2. Veterans report in a couple of days, and then we're on to training camp next week and beyond. The 2024 Washington Commanders get underway. Cannot wait until next time. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.